moved past this whole gender imbalance by raising boys really consciously and treating boys and girls as equals on a certain plane, but as very different on another plane. There's really a lot of cool people doing great research, like Michael Gurian, that is helping identify that boys actually don't learn best in our current classroom setting because it's harder for boys to sit still because of their brain development. So he's actually teaching teachers how to teach boys. And you actually need to teach boys differently than how you teach girls. Girls are more likely to succeed in traditional academic environments, and they are. The stats are like staggering in terms of how girls are outperforming boys in pretty much every area. And his research is pointing to, because boys aren't being taught in a learning style that works for them. And then they get labeled ADHD and ADD because they can't sit still. Well, they want to be outside. They want to actually work with their hands and play and wrestle and like get physical, and that's how boys learn. I have a son and I watch it. That's how he learns. So, and he is a kind of a classic boy. And again, we can't pigeonhole all boys. Like there's more effeminate boys, and there's boys that dress up like girls, and blah, blah, blah. And there's boys that just like trucks and that's all they want to play with. So teachers have to be tuned in enough to meet their classroom, and then our current education system with 30 kids in your classroom, how are you going to do that? It's impossible. So, it requires a fundamental overhaul in the education system. It requires really raising boys how to be emotionally literate, relationally adept, and sexually aware, so that they actually are sexually educated in such a way that when they're a teenage boy, they actually know what to do with their cock, and they're like, oh, this is my cock, and this is how I masturbate and how I relate to it, and whoa, it has a lot of power. If I try to put myself on a girl, they actually could have a ton of killer mentorship, because most boys are abandoned around their sexuality, and then they're left trying to figure out their sexuality from other boys. And where did they learn it? From other boys and from porn, and it's a giant mess.